It was a question she wasn't expecting when she got her COVID-19 vaccine. An 11 Alive viewer reached out to our Why Guy to find out why her vaccine provider asked for proof of insurance. Vaccines are free whether you have insurance or not. Our Why Guy, Jerry Carnes, went on a search for answers.
The price is certainly right. A COVID-19 vaccine will cost you nothing. Even if you don't have insurance, your shot in the arm should not require a shot to your bank account. So 11 Alive viewer Maddie Strozier was surprised when her vaccine provider asked for proof of insurance.
Can you tell me why does the vaccination sites ask for your insurance information?
On Maddie's behalf, we reached out to the Georgia Department of Public Health and others for answers. Again, providers should not ask for any payment, not an administration fee, not a copay, and they cannot turn you away if you don't have insurance. Federal dollars are paying for the vaccines. However, according to the CDC, vaccine providers may turn to your insurance company to help them recover the cost of setting up a clinic and keeping the vaccines in cold storage. To seek that reimbursement, they will need your insurance information. Georgia's insurance commissioner tells us if that happens, you should not be held responsible for any of the cost. If you get a bill from your insurance company, you can contact the insurance commissioner's customer service team to complain. Not every provider will ask for insurance information. Northside Hospital told us they're not billing insurance. Still, don't be surprised if it happens. If a provider tries to charge you for a shot or turns you away because you don't have insurance, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services wants to know.
All right, Jerry, thanks a lot. Do you have a question for Jerry, our Why Guy? Send it to us on Facebook, Twitter, or email. And you can see more from our Why Guy weekday mornings on Morning Rush 5 to 7 here on 11 Alive.